All right. Hello, thank you, Ruth. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 15th and final webinar of the IBM Digital Nation Africa webinar series. Today's webinar topic is Building Your First IoT Application. My name is German Shane, and I'm your presenter for today. I'm a content and application developer for the IBM Digital Nation program. I oversee the development of new features and create courses for cloud, IoT, and continuous learning paths on this platform. Now, in my spare time, I like city exploration and taking pictures. I would like to start a poll that asks you if you've heard or used IBM Digital Nation Africa platform, which I'm going to open right about now. All right. While you're answering, I'm going to give a quick overview of IBM Digital Nation Africa. IBM Digital Nation Africa allows you to achieve 4 goals. With it, you can learn. The platform offers a wide range of courses and tools to help you learn about the latest emerging technologies and explore new opportunities in the real world. Helps you earn badges. IBM Digital badges are verified proof of your achievements, recognized, respected, and valued in the IT industry, and can be included in your CV and shared on social media. The platform also helps you innovate, as it gives you inspiration on how to build different solutions, provides the foundations of design thinking process, and helps you build innovative solutions using the free IBM Cloud Light services. Finally, it also helps you find jobs. The platform offers a job advisor tool powered by IBM Watson that helps with job matching relevant to your skills. And it also helps you perform skill gap analysis, and based on that analysis, advises you on the available courses on the platform that you can add to your learning journey. I will now go over the website and give you a brief demonstration of the platform. I will also be going a bit slower in order to ensure that everyone sees the screen properly, because I know that there are delays in screen sharing. What you see over here is the landing page of the IBM Digital Nation Africa. If you haven't signed up for the platform already, please do. Over here, you can find the goals that I have explained. Each of them leads to a relevant part of the website. And below, you can see the 3 main journeys of IBM Digital Nation Africa: Explorer, Innovator, and Newcomer. The focus of today's section is Innovator. So let's go to the Innovator section. Innovator section consists of 3 parts. Get Inspired, which is a set of inspirational ideas and use cases. Design, which consists of a design thinking for beginners course and the design stories, as in the real life stories of how IBM design thinking was applied in industry. And Build section, which contains hands-on project-based courses. This is where you can find the learning path on which the webinar is based on, getting started with IoT. There are other learning paths that may interest you. You can check them out by yourself, or you can view the previous webinar recordings based on these learning paths. Let's go back to the presentation and attain some background knowledge needed for this webinar. What is the Internet of Things? The Internet of Things, or IoT for short, is a global system of interconnected physical devices and services that deliver data via the Internet. IoT is transforming the way we live, as its devices have been widely adopted across a range of industries, including healthcare, manufacturing, automotive industry, retail, and building automation. And those are just a few of applications. There are many, many more. One of the key components of IoT is sensors. A sensor is a device that reacts to change in its environment. Some of the examples of sensors are thermometer or temperature sensor, touch sensor, and movement sensor. Sensors can be both real and simulated, as you will see in this webinar. However, it's not just limited to sensors. It's Internet of Things, not Internet of Sensors. There are other more complex devices and services, other things that we can connect. Those things include microcontrollers such as Arduino. It can be a camera for visual recognition that employs visual recognition for a smart home security system, such as Ring. You may have heard about it. A smart doorbell can be an intercom can be part of an IoT system in a smartphone, for example. And it can also include non-physical entities such as IBM Watson services, which are also employed in our courses. is everywhere, and its list of applications keeps growing. Some of its notable areas of applications include city infrastructure. For example, on the left, you see the example of Dubai Metro, which is fully automated and is one of the best examples of IoT. Can also help you create smart and safe homes. It's also extremely valuable in healthcare due to the amount of data that you can collect and because you can automate the process as well. It's also used in cars and it helps in the environmental science. In the scope of this webinar, we will be using Telegram. You may have heard about Telegram, but in case you haven't, Telegram is an instant messaging app similar to WhatsApp. However, one of its key features and selling points is its security and speed. It can be used to either communicate directly between two people, or you can create large groups and broadcast channels with it. IBM Cloud provides access to two main IoT tools, which we will be using today. They are Node-RED and IBM Watson IoT platform. Node-RED is a visual programming tool for wiring together hardware devices, APIs, and online services in new and interesting ways. IBM Cloud allows the deployment of Node-RED as its instance, giving the Node-RED access to a wide range of services available on the IBM Cloud platform. This is the UI of the Node-RED. I will use the annotation as well as explain which sections exactly I'm talking about. On the left, side of the UI, you have all the nodes that you can drag and drop to the workspace in the central part of the screen. Nodes represent devices, sensors, services, and programming functions, everything needed for an IoT application. And in the center, you have a workspace for your workflow. Basically, drag and drop here, connect, and that's how you create an IoT application in Node-RED. And on the right side, you have debugging. You have the fields for debug and output information. I will show you more once we go into the actual demo. All right, the final piece of the background information is IBM Watson IoT platform. IBM Watson IoT platform is a managed cloud-hosted service designed to make it simple to derive value from your IoT devices. It supports additional services such as blockchain and analytics services. Its capabilities enable organizations to capture and explore data for devices, equipment, and machines, and discover insights into better decision making. Today, we will be using a simulated temperature sensor created with the help of IBM Watson IoT platform. It also allows you to connect real sensors. Okay. So, for those of you who have attended an IBM Cloud webinar and design thinking webinar, you may remember my persona, Amaka, who is a 19-year-old college student in Nigeria. She studies computer engineering and she discovered IBM Digital Nation during one of the IBM hosted events. Since she's a computer engineer, she is passionate about hardware, and she immediately takes interest in the Internet of Things learning path. So when she goes to this path, these are the steps that she typically needs to follow, and these are the steps of our, and these are the five high level steps of our demo. The first step is to log into IBM Cloud. The second is to create a Node-RED instance. Then we set up a Telegram bot. We create our Node-RED flow, and finally we deploy the IoT app. However, you also need to work out a couple of prerequisites first. We need to take a look at our required tools for today, and those are IBM Cloud that you will need to log into, not CLI, the web version. You will need to download Telegram on desktop, your Mac, or on your mobile device. And you need to open the link with the simulated temperature sensor. My colleague Root will provide all the URLs in the chat right now. Actually, you can see that she sent most of them already. And what we are building today is a simple IoT application that sends notifications to your Telegram messaging app when the temperature value changes. You are in charge of the temperature sensor's value since it is completely simulated. If the temperature is below 15 degrees Celsius, then the message will say that the temperature is too low. If it is above 30 degrees Celsius, then the message says that the temperature is too high. Otherwise, you will get a message saying that the temperature is within a normal range. Let us now go to IBM Cloud, to our browser, and I will do the demonstration. The first step is to log into IBM Cloud, and you will be transferred to already familiar dashboard. And we will be creating a Node-RED instance. To do so, go to the catalog in the top navigation bar of IBM Cloud. You will be taken to the catalog of IBM Cloud, where you can select a wide range of apps. However, what you need right now is a starter kit application, which includes both IBM IoT applications, and those are Internet of Things Platform Starter, which is IBM's IoT platform, and Node-RED Starter. Select Node-RED Starter. All you need to provide is an application's name, and everything else will be provided to you automatically. However, you can change most of them, like host name, domain, and your region. It is recommended to select region that is geographically closest to you. And in case of Africa, it would probably be Frankfurt, as there are no IBM Cloud locations in Middle East or Africa right now. Anyway, once you're done with configuring, click the Create button. I have pre-configured all the steps already, so we're just going to be going through the screens and some configuration steps, not the full drag and drop configuration. Once you've created the app, you will be redirected to the Node-RED Starter dashboard. Once it is fully deployed, it will either show this app is awake or it will show running. Click Visit App URL. By the way, if you have any questions, we have the floor and the chat open. You can ask them. I will try my best to answer them in time and fully, or at least provide the answer later on. Anyway, you will be taken when you launch Node-RED for the first time, you will be taken to this dashboard, but you will also be prompted to set up a username and password to secure your editor. While you can refuse, it is recommended that you do so. And once you do that, you will be taken to the Node-RED editor, where you're going to see an empty workspace that where you can drag and drop. And you can configure each node by double clicking on it. However, before we go into our final flow, we need to do some configuration first. So let us proceed to our Telegram messaging application. We will need to configure a Telegram bot for this demo. The first step is to search for a bot father bot in the top search bar. This bot is used to create other personalized bots. In bot father, you need to run a /new bot command. Once you do that, it will prompt you to give a name to your bot, and it will also prompt you to give a username for your bot. Those are two distinctly different things, and your username of the bot should end with a bot. I'll be saying bot a lot right now, so bear with me on this one. Once you provide those two vital credentials, it will provide you with a link to access your bot and an HTTP API token, which you need to save, as we will use it later on. Once you access your personal bot, you will be greeted with an empty screen. In my case, it's not empty because I've already pre-configured it, and it will not respond to you since it's not configured. So what the last step that we need to do in Telegram is to look for ID bot. Again, use the top search bar and run a /getID command, which will return your Telegram ID, which you need to save, as we will use it later on. Please note that your Telegram ID and your HTTP API token are a sensitive information. You treat it as you would treat your password or personal documents. The next step of our pre-configuration would be accessing the simulated IoT sensor, the link to which again was provided in the chat. I believe this is the last message that was sent. You can control the sensor value using up and down and up arrow buttons. But for now, what we need to do is copy sensor ID from the top right side of the screen and save it. Please note that refreshing or closing the tab resets the ID. So if you saved it, it will be virtually useless because it's highly unlikely that you'll be that once you open the page, it will show you the same ID. Therefore, you won't be able to control your application. All right, we're in our end game. Go to the Node-RED workspace. I have already prepared the flow we will be working on. I'm going to go over the nodes that you need to drag and drop and what purpose they fulfill. The first node is an IBM IoT node called IBM IoT App In, which is a node dedicated to IBM Watson IoT platform. And in this case, it contains the value of our the ID of our simulated sensor. It leads directly to the RB node, which stands for Report by Exception. This is an event-based node, which means that as soon as the temperature changes or any other value changes or any other event is triggered, depending on the type of sensor, this node will start working, and it will send the information to a JavaScript function node called temperature threshold that checks the value of the temperature and creates a text message based on the value of the temperature. Remember, below 15 is too low, above 30 is too high, and between the two it is a normal range. Then it sends the information to another JavaScript function node called message to send, which just formats the message in a proper way for your Telegram messenger. And the last two nodes are msg.payload, which is a debug node, which just outputs any errors or system information, and Telegram sender, a node that connects your Node-RED flow with your Telegram node. So to configure this flow, we will need to put our credentials. First, double-click the IBM IoT App in node and paste the simulated sensor ID into the device ID, which in my case is already done. As you can see, these two match. Double-click the message to send node and find the chat ID field. This is where you paste your Telegram ID, which you have obtained from the ID bot in Telegram. Finally, double-click the Telegram sender node. You can when you first configure it, this field would be empty because you need to create a bot that you will be connecting to. To do that, click on the pencil icon over here and provide your bot name and your HTTP API token. Again, it's bot name, not bot username. Let me go back to the screen to show you the distinction. Bot name is the name that you provided first. It doesn't have bot at the. It doesn't have the word bot at the end. And the HTTP API token is provided to you once the configuration is done. You need to copy and paste these two credentials and put them into bot name and token. And this should configure, and this should finalize our configuration. We save all of the nodes and we click the deploy button. And you should now receive notifications on your Telegram. As you can see, it popped up in the bottom right side of my screen. Right now it says that the temperature is normal. Let us decrease it by 1 degree. Now it says that the temperature is too low, and it says that it's 14 degrees. By the way, also notice that in our message formatting, it sends the device ID. In some cases, it's extremely helpful if you send the ID of the sensor, especially in the large-scale projects. Let us now increase the temperature above the upper threshold. While we do that, we will receive some messages, intermediary messages, like temperature is normal, 17 degrees, and you can see temperature is too high, 31 degrees Celsius. And when you do the associated course, you can play with the sensor value and you can play with the code and you can get other outcomes or set other thresholds, and you can set up your own notifications. But either way, this is the demonstration I want to do. This concludes my demo. I will now be going back. How could I Okay, there is a question from Mahmoud Suleiman. How could I attach a hardware sensor? Uh, so we will send you the link to we will send you the link to the IBM Watson IoT platform, which is dedicated to actually registering your sensors on the platform. It has the links to the documentation. What you need to do, how you need to go through the documentation, but basically you need to register your physical device on IBM Watson IT platform, obtain the ID, and then register it on this link to be able to monitor it. All right, I will be going back to the presentation. Getting started with IoT is largely a project-oriented learning path in IBM Digital Nation. We have an introductory course to the IoT technology in the Explorer section. However, it is the Innovator section that has the four main courses on the topic, which are Build Your First IoT Application, Node-RED Basics to Bots, which provides an extensive introduction to Node-RED, how it works, its philosophy, and has a plethora of exercises. We have a build a notification system for your IoT application and integrate Watson Assistant and Telegram using Node-RED courses, both of which served as a foundation for this webinar's demo material. And finally, we have Create a Smart Home IoT Application course, which introduces IBM Watson IoT platform, and it goes in depth on what you can do with it. This concludes my presentation. If you have any questions, please ask them now. You can also unmute yourself at this point and ask them using your microphone, or you can type them in the chat. We will be listening. All right, it seems that no one is asking right now. Anyway, we have about 2 more minutes. Use this opportunity. To go through the webinar demo material, please navigate to the links that you can see on your screen. You can go through the detailed steps, and you can do the quiz associated with each of the course and earn a badge for each course. You can access more courses on different emerging technologies on IBM Digital Nation Africa platform. You can access it by going to digitalnationafrica.com. You can also put your business on transformative growth with a startup with IBM program. And don't forget to join our IBM Digital Nation Facebook group. Thank you for listening to this webinar. You can contact me via my email shown on the slide. Thank you for being with us on this journey, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, German, for this session, and thank you all for joining us today. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I just wanted to remind you as well that this is the last webinar of this webinar series. So we will have in the near future we will have more webinar series, but this is the last one on the first webinar series. At the meantime, I would advise you to, in case you did not catch up on the last webinars we had, to go on this link that I'm just gonna share it on. I'm gonna share. I just shared it on the chat. So on this link, you will have access to all of the webinars, presentations, and recordings that we had on this series. Maybe 2 are missing, but we are working on having them uploaded on the same folder. But most of the webinars are there. So I would advise you to go there and just like visit it each and every time to get access to it. I would really appreciate it if you can do this quick survey to let us know how do you think about today's presentation, today's webinar, today's topic, today's presenter, and everything you have in mind. If you have any topics that you would want to have on the next series, just please write that down. I have had a box on the survey. So you can add your own text. Just say, okay, I want more of IoT. I want more of blockchain. Just feel free to like let us know what you want. That will help us to create a new topic for the webinar series. In the meanwhile, also, I would really encourage you guys to check the Facebook group that we have, because on that group, I will be sharing other IBM webinar series, other IBM webinars. So it's not IBM Digital Nation Africa related, but it's all emerging technology related that I would like do my research, and I think it's good for you to learn about, and I would be sharing on the Facebook group. So go on the link that I have just shared, join our Facebook group, and just stay tuned with all of the next posts that I'll be posting about. So feel free to ask anything you have in mind there. And we all of the team have really enjoyed delivering these webinars for you guys. So thank you all for joining, and we will make this recording and presentation soon on the box folder we shared on the chat. Make sure you have all of the links shared. Just copy the chat and paste it somewhere on your notepad. And thank you so much. So we have a couple of questions, German, on the chat. George is asking how to connect Arduino to Node-RED. So George, basically Arduino kits or Arduino microcontrollers come with the Bluetooth, right? And it comes for wireless connections, and it also it's a microcontroller that you can connect directly to your PC. So once you are creating that code for Arduino, you upload it to the microcontroller, and then using some of the credentials that the Watson IoT platform offers to you, you can also include that in your code and then upload it on the microcontroller. And this is how these credentials, like the passwords, the username, all of the metadata or the data, like the Watson IoT platform offers for you, it makes you able to connect the microcontroller, which is the Arduino, to the Watson IoT platform. And do you want to add anything?
Yeah, George, sorry for jumping late on this question, but basically, I believe Node-RED has an official package or an official NPM package that allows you to connect Arduino to a Node-RED flow. It even has an associated node with it. I believe it may be a little bit harder if your Node-RED instance is on IBM cloud, but either way, on the link that we have provided, it has access to the required documentation and code patterns that may help you.
So basically, the link that I have shared before, it has a lot of recipes and a lot of how-to guides that you can actually use to figure out how to build a different IoT applications. I'm just going to share it one more time. So on this link, you will find a lot of recipes and how-to guides on how to build IoT applications. And I would encourage you all to thank you, German, for sharing that link. So it's Node-RED documentation. It's the actual Node-RED documentation. So from there, you can go and check how specifically Node-RED can be connected to Arduino, how it specifically can be connected to other devices that you have, to your mobile phone, to like how to build different recipes. Just I would really encourage you, if you want to build cool stuff with IoT and Node-RED, just use these links at the end of the chat. I hope that answered your question, George. Does anyone have any other questions? Okay, I hope that answered your question. And if there is no question, you're very welcome, Nashat. And if there is no question, I'll just wait for 2 minutes in case someone like have a question on their mind or any feedback they want to share. So, and then I'll end the session.
Please don't forget to fill out the survey.
Yes, sure. Fill the survey, please, and let us know what you think. I'm gonna share the link again. Okay, we'll wait for a couple of minutes and end the session. Thank you, John. And we're looking forward to have you also on the next webinar series. Once we plan for the new one with the new topics, we will be announcing it on our Facebook group. So don't forget to join us. Okay, I think that's it. There is no questions. If you have anything on mind, just please feel free to contact me or German. And thank you, Reggie, thank you, Mahmoud, thank you all for joining us today. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, guys. See you soon, and have a nice day.
Thank you.